Glad to have your company tonight. My name is Olive Nete. Let's begin the edition by wishing Happy Mother's Day to all mothers. We recognize your sacrifices. On this matter again, on Sunday, the First Lady, Her Excellency Jeannette Kagame, wished a Happy Mother's Day to all mothers and delivered a message to them saying, Happy Mother's Day. You have been the beating hearts of your homes on sunny days, on chilly nights, through joy as in difficulty. Your resilience is a testament to your unconditional love for those around you. We thank all mothers for being to many the very first source of affection, care, and protection. Let us celebrate Mother's Day and may we be worthy keepers for them. Mother's Day is celebrated every second week of May every year. Still on the same matter, various mothers expressed their gratitude to the government of Rwanda for its contribution in encouraging women.
We had no freedom of speech, but now we have access to all authorities and we feel valued, having our rights respected. I thank the First Lady, Jeannette Kagame, for delivering such a courageous message to us on this day. God bless her and our President, Paul Kagame. This is a significant day to us because even in the ancient times, a mother was a respected individual. So sparing this day for us mothers is valuable and we appreciate it. Our role in construction of the Rwanda we want as parents is to ensure we impart the right morals to our children.
Experts on environmental conservation find that in order for the national disaster the reduction and management policy to reach its goals, it is essential to explain it to those who have been affected by the disasters and take the first step in mitigating the effects. Adam Squizera with the report.
One of the ways to prevent disasters is that people who live in those high-risk zones must be urgently relocated. 4 years ago, there were those who were relocated and got settled in the mother villages.
When it rained, we used to always trace waterways, and more on that, we wouldn't be able to sleep while it was raining.
Early last week, the cabinet meeting approved the National Disaster Risk Reduction and Management Policy. Having Chiti Philippe, the permanent secretary in the ministry in charge of emergency management, noted that this policy aims to show the need for action and the role of everyone in fighting and preventing disasters, as well as to deal with their consequences. There should be an investment in preventing and managing disasters, and also evaluate if leaders make a follow-up, and also there should be a monitoring on how it should be done, or when it's done wrongly, who is responsible to be accounted, hence not keep doing things that always gets damaged. An expert in environmental conservation demonstrates that such policy shows the sufficient will of the government in dealing with these problems, as Voningoma Foste points out. There should be a capacity building, because maybe our country might have limited capacity, but in that limited ways, when there is a will, Rwandans themselves are the ones who are responsible to support their country in its limited capacity, hence to conserve the environment. Visiting sites affected by floods and landslides earlier this month in Rubavu district, the President of the Republic, Paul Kagame, assured the people that Rwanda will overcome the disasters as it has overcome other problems. Where it's not going well or didn't go well, we'll collect that, because there are many possible ways, since sometimes you find that people are capable of doing things but do not perform as expected. That's why we want to do all possible things, especially helping children and babies who doesn't have what to eat, or their parents and others. We'll speed up all those things. Just be patient and bear with us. That's what especially brought me here. On the 2nd and 3rd this month of May, the disaster caused by heavy rains killed 135 people in the northern and western province and destroyed 5,963 houses, while a number of 20,326 were evacuated. Adam Squizera, RTV News.
Thank you, Adams, for the report. Now, traders who rent commercial story buildings in Kigali City expressed their concern on the fact that owners of these buildings charge them rent or sign them with agreements requiring them to pay in dollars. Take a look. These traders demonstrate that when they are looking for commercial buildings in Kigali City to conduct their business activities, owners of these buildings compel them to pay in dollars. However, they express that this is not convenient as it hinders their financial growth.
And we are facing like same dollar fluctuations, okay? When it is going high, we have to pay high rents, okay? And business also, it's not too much, okay? We are just struggling and we are just trying hard to get money, and upon that we have to pay on time or else we'll get the legal notice, whatever, blah blah blah, okay? So it is little difficult to us, but like what we have requested means like we have said to management also that we need a fixed, okay, and Rwandan francs, okay, the price should not go high, okay, they should maintain a like a proper rent, okay, it should be in Rwandan francs, so that would be very helpful to us actually. And not only me, there are so many foreigners, they have issues.
It's a little bit effect because nowadays currency is day by day it will increasing. If it is like a fixed Rwandan francs, it will be better for us.
What do you wish about this issue?
They are telling us like all are paying in dollars only. We can pay in Rwandan francs, like a fixed Rwandan francs.
Okay.
There is no fluctuation in the dollar price also. Then it will be good for us.
According to Philemon Hagenimana, the Chief Executive Officer of KTN Rwanda Ltd, a real estate company, the ongoing problem of those paying rent in dollars slows down the country's economy.
It's a very awesome. For example, currently at the market, there is a deficit of dollars. Let's make an example. Maybe a few months ago, I used to pay a rent which was equivalent 340,000 Rwandan francs. And if today you charge me the same amount, because the dollar has currently raised, it will be like paying 360 Rwandan francs. And maybe what I'm selling as a trader in the Rwandan currency, it is still at the same amount. If I trade my products, such as food or electronic machines, I do not sell them in dollars, and that devalues the currency. The National Bank of Rwanda should set a policy and also sensitize people the importance of not using the foreign currency in charging people.
Some of the owners of these houses, or those who manage them, opted not to comment on the issue. However, there are those who have expressed that they pay the bank loans in dollars. The governor of the Central Bank of Rwanda, John Rwangombwa, points out that they will not relate anyone who charges rent in foreign currency because it is against the law.
We published announcements showing that it is prohibited, and what's next is to follow up and do enforcement and see those who don't comply with it so that they can be punished. We gave out many announcements on this issue. I wish that we'll be able to find full information from those who complain so that we can assist them by taking appropriate measures to punish those who do it.
Traders indicate that when they want to rent a commercial building, they are charged per square meter on a certain amount of dollars. But they also demonstrate that when they want to exchange in the Rwandan currency, they do that based on the current value of the dollar. Now moving ahead, on Monday, Zimbabwe will host the second session of the Zimbabwe-Rwanda Joint Permanent Commission on Cooperation, GPCC, which seeks to enhance the fulfillment of the common development aspirations. We had a phone call exclusive interview with the Ambassador of Rwanda in Zimbabwe, His Excellency James Musoni, who began pointing out the current standings of the relations between Rwanda and Zimbabwe.
You're aware in 2018, our president, His Excellency Paul Kagame, came to Zimbabwe, and since then, he came for the inauguration of the current president, His Excellency President Emerson Mnangagwa. After that time, a decision was taken to open diplomatic relations between Rwanda and Zimbabwe, where we established 2 embassies. In 2019, January, Rwanda established embassy in Harare, and the same year, Zimbabwe also opened the embassy in Kigali. I would say that since then, our relationship has been growing, and quite a number of agreements and MOUs were signed. So I would say that following the signing of those MOUs, most of them have been put in implementation. I would say some, like in education, where we have some educational personnel that have joined our teaching school, have joined our schools. We have trade and investment conferences that have been taking place in both countries. I would say cooperation in the diplomatic and political levels. And Rwanda is flying here 5 times a week after signing the BASA and many others. So I would say that our cooperation between Rwanda and Zimbabwe is at a very good level.
And now, Ambassador, tomorrow Zimbabwe will host the second Joint Permanent Commission on Cooperation. Can you explain in brief about this summit?
Well, the main focus of this JPCC will first review the implementation of existing MOUs and agreements. And I would say that quite a number of them are ongoing and going on well, except a few that we'll have to review why they have not moved at the pace that was expected, and the corrective actions will be taken. Secondly, new areas will be looked at. I would say that even currently we have our Minister of Agriculture who has just come in to work with the counterparts to develop more cooperation in the agriculture and livestock field. We also expect to enhance our cooperation in the mining sector, be it at skills level, the exchange of personnel, but also trading. We'll also check on how we can enhance our cooperation in the science and education. We expect to sign MOU in the higher education, science and technology. We also look at the governance and the other areas that will be beneficial to our citizens.
Sure. Now, Ambassador, recently in 2021, Rwanda hosted the first session of this GPCC, where 6 agreements and a memorandum of understanding were also signed. Now, how far are the implementation of this first GPCC you recently had?
So since then, actually, quite a number of other MOUs have been signed. I would say that today we have around 20 MOUs and agreements that have been signed. So I would say that close to 15 of them are in green, saying that they are all going on well, and about 5 are not yet at that level. So I would say that from tomorrow and day after tomorrow, we'll be checking how best we can bring these ones back on course, and even introduce new ones for the enhancement of our cooperation.
Then what could we expect as the outcomes from this second Joint Permanent Commission on Cooperation, JPCC, which will start tomorrow?
I think the main outcome basically will be to enhance this cooperation, check on those areas that are not moving as fast as we wanted, but also introduce new areas, as I mentioned, in enhancing our cooperation in agriculture, in trade and investment, in mining, higher education, and science and technology. But also some other areas could emerge as we discussed in the meeting.
Let us also inform you that this second session of Zimbabwe-Rwanda Joint Permanent Commission on Cooperation, GPCCC, will be attended by the Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation, Dr. Vincent Biruta, who will be leading Rwanda's delegation. Now, moving ahead, some residents in the city of Kigali blame some of their leaders for the slow service provision because they put their personal interests before the needs and wants of the citizens. The Ministry of Local Government conveys abolishment of such practices in the country. Shina Teta with more.
Gatsata sector in Gasabo district is one of the mentioned places with incompetent conduct of leaders, which slows down service provision, and residents say that oftentimes leaders do not attend to citizens to solve issues they are facing on time because they are invested in other matters.
It's not all leaders, but oftentimes local authorities do not attend to citizens because they are invested in other matters.
We would rather go and find other leaders to listen to us and provide solutions to the issues we face. Like nowadays, we do not have water. Maybe you can help us reach out to them. The Executive Secretary of Transparency International Rwanda, Apollinaire Mupiganyi, says that the level of service provision at local levels is still incapacitated, as citizens have demonstrated in a research study conducted by Rwanda Governance Board.
Citizens have shown that they are not satisfied with how they are offered services that has reduced at 4% rate, which is the root cause of the problems that arise.
While speaking to Rwanda Broadcasting Agency, the Ministry of Local Government Jean-Claude Musabyimana has requested citizens to keep their trust in government authorities, stressing that leaders who do not put citizens first are against the governance path that Rwanda has put, and yet solutions can be found.
There are some leaders who do not attend to citizens, yet they are our priority, and it's our core responsibility to satisfy their needs and wants, because that's why we are there.
Jean-Claude Musabyimana, the Minister of Local Government, also urges citizens to cooperate with their leaders in providing solutions to the problems encountered, which should start at local levels that have been decentralized to the people because it is where problems arise mostly. Shinateta, RTV News.
Now on economic matters, money traders, economists and other people who are in the business believe that there is currently a decline in the circulation of the dollar on the Rwandan market. Economists and analysts believe that one of the reasons for this mismatch is the mismatch between what the country imports and exports. The Rwandan Central Bank explained that the current development of the tourism and service will continue to assist in solving the problem. Jessica Agasaro with more.
Some of the challenges that the money traders continues to face include the lack of American dollars, and this is due to the fact that in Rwanda, in the region and all over the world, the dollars has risen so much that if you want to buy it, you'll find it difficult compared to other currencies available in the foreign exchange market. The money traders and financial expert points out the reason behind this.
Since the dollar has risen, the client will want to buy it higher, making it difficult for you to negotiate.
Another reason for the increase in the dollar is that the normal products from Rwanda that are going to be traded abroad have become cheaper and are usually the ones that bring in dollars to the country, as of one of the currency traders explains.
Now coming up or are going up. So within that kind of going up from different areas, so most businesses do demand a lot of dollars.
Rwanda's exports continues to grow at a rate of 17.4% as one of the quarter of 2023, but import also increased at the rate of 27.6%.
Consumer is the one who suffers, who get the load on his shoulders. And it affects the overall economy in a sense that when it continues, it contributes to also to an inflation. It generates higher prices. And when people are facing the situation whereby goods and services are expensive, sometimes they opt not to buy or to consume. And this reduces the level of production in the country, and the level of production, of course, also affects the overall economy.
The governor of the Central Bank of Rwanda, Rwangombwa John, shows that the expected increase in the production from the service that the country sells abroad, especially tourism and air transport, will reduce the pressure on the value of the currency.
Bill has really grown much bigger than the export bill earnings, and it's coming from a bigger base, so the deficit has widened by more than 35%. So that puts pressure on the exchange market. I wouldn't say it's shortage as such.
On the other hand, the gap between the value of the Rwandan currency compared to the US dollar decreased by 3.7 in March this year compared to December 2022. Jessica Agasaro, RTV News.
Now, some of the survivors of the genocide against the Tutsi, Trinity Metals Group workers, leaders, and some of the residents of Shirongi remember their loved ones that were killed during the 1994 genocide against the Tutsi. Every year, Trinity Metals Group, during the commemoration activities, they carry out activities to support the survivors of the genocide against the Tutsi, and specifically this year, they renovated the house of one of the survivors and donated cows to another survivor in order to assist them. The Chief Executive Officer of Trinity Metals Group sympathized with those who lost their loved ones and also thanked Rwanda for the progress it has made after the history it has gone through.
We are here today to raise awareness of the tragic events and to ensure that we remind ourselves to act against and prevent any such events occurring in the future. The 1994 genocide against the Tutsi in Rwanda is permanently written in the history books and is studied and discussed in all parts of the world. To the families and friends of our lost heroes, you will always be in our prayers and you will always be part of the Nyakabingo family.
On behalf of the entire news production team, thank you for staying with us. Have a blessed week ahead.